you guys and gals, now we're here from Drake Main Gaming, and something balanced what of the game being dragged today. I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Far Beyond the World. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Alrighty. Once Ranok is fully disarmed, the female bows respectfully. If you go up the stairs to the second floor, cross through the archway, and stop before the second door on the right. There are some benches there for you to sit on, as it might take a while. Today's a very busy day, I'm afraid.
Did you say important business? Much diplomacy?
Ranok asks in a rather impatient tone. Yes, much diplomacy indeed. She nods, barely containing mockery. That is why you're being granted this audience on such short notice. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I whisper, bumping into his shoulder, but the wolf only looks around in confusion.
What horse? There are no horses here.
It means leave it. It's good we've gotten an audience at all. I sigh, pulling him towards the stairs, and we begin our climb. I fiddle with my fingers, watching as the wolf paces nervously in front of the bench. His paws slap the marbled floor in rhythmic patterns, echoing across the empty antechamber. It'd be enough to lull me to sleep, if not for the hustle and bustle of the town outside. Flop, flop, flop. Another series of steps resonate in a different direction, and it begins to slowly bother me. Despite patting the seat behind me on multiple occasions, Ranok decides to act like an impatient child.
This is ridiculous. We've been waiting here for hours.
Calm down. There's not much else we can do about it. I mutter, again, trying to make him sit, but the wolf continues to ignore me.
We could just walk out.
Oh yeah, that'll show him. And what would we tell your father? I scoff, looking at him in disbelief. That you lost patience because you had to wait for an audience?
Pompous, self-important tigers.
He is the magistrate. We kinda showed up at his doorstep unannounced. I try to reason the prolonging wait, but Ranok sneers in annoyance and returns to his pacing.
This is deliberate. They always treated our people like...
He's cut off as the massive door finally cracks open. It does so slowly, almost theatrically, like a curtain pulling up on opening night.
Lord Ranok of Tiernan.
A deep voice invites us in. I look to the wolf with a soft smile. Seems our wait is finally over.
Good.
Sounds more like a threat than anything else. Agreed. At least you'll stop your grumbling. I tease and jump off the bench, nodding for him to lead us into the room proper. Just remember, a good diplomat speaks softly. I try to remind him, but he huffs in annoyance and rushes onwards.
I'm a wolf, not a sheep.
I really don't like the sound of that. The chamber is quite tall, with intricately decorated vaulted ceiling depicting an open blue sky. I admired the woodwork and paneling as we walk up towards a wide desk rested against a magnificent window. It gives us a prime view of the city's bustling marketplace, and I smile at the mayhem taking place between the stalls. The smell of spices and incense overpowers the senses even up here, high above the rooftops. To my surprise, I find myself remarkably at ease in such a setting. It almost feels like home. Finally, we come to a stop at the desk where seated in an imposing chair is an older tiger who, despite his age, looks quite handsome and not at all past his prime.
Ah, Lord Ranok. What do I owe you the honor of your visit? I wait very long.
My wolf mutters in a somewhat broken speech. I had a feeling his tigery would become an issue, but the language barrier seems to be the least of our problems. Ranok's not even trying to hide his frustration, and I sigh internally.
Indeed, I am afraid we're quite busy. So many foreigners passing through our town. But just the other day we had an emissary from Lynx Terra. But enough about our problems. Let me hear of your troubles. They must be quite something to have forced you to our doors.
The tiger waves his paws as if chasing an imaginary fly and looks at Ranok inquisitively. With that choice of words, he leaves no doubt that he's very much not in the dark as to our intentions.
No trouble, just trade.
Ranok responds with a stone expression, but it's clear the magistrate is not convinced.
Oh? Forgive me if I'm taken aback. One is led to believe you wolves only leave your precious woods when in need of something.
We need nothing, my wolf reiterates sternly through his fangs, almost as if offended by the insinuation his people are in need. But they very much are. Otherwise, what was the point in coming here? At first, the magistrate mirrors my baffled expression, but quickly determination returns to his muzzle.
Ah, a social occasion, then.
He shrugs, getting up from his chair and walloping on a silken cord next to his desk. I looked back, startled as the massive door behind us creaks open once again, and I realized we're at a loss here.
In that case, I'm afraid our talks are concluded. I have far more pressing matters than...
Forgive me, my lord, for speaking out of turn. I stepped forward, catching both males by surprise. Hell, I even surprised myself now that their penetrating gazes are centered on me. But while Ranok's expression remains that of surprise, the magistrate smiles shallowly, almost begging to question if it's a genuine shift or not.
There's nothing to forgive, my friend. In Tigera, no kin speaks out of turn. The very concept is entirely lost on us, I'm afraid.
He emphasizes, looking back to Ranok with scorn. I misspoke then. Forgive me my boldness in addressing you so directly, but we have traveled far, and I ask for just a moment of your time. A tiger looks at me with a puzzled expression, but it seems I have captured his interest. He pulls on the cord again, and I can see the light flooding from behind the doorway recede as the wooden door wings come closer together. Once I can hear the audible click announcing the doors are shut once more, I sigh in relief. We didn't come this far to have Ranok's pride hamper our diplomatic task. The magistrate returns to the desk, reaches for a crystal carafe, and pours himself a generous glass of deep scarlet wine.
Have you been offered any refreshments?
Yes, my lord. Twice, in fact. I nod, genuflecting gracefully.
Then let me make it a third.
The tiger extends the drink in my direction, causing me to blink in confusion. I half expected the glass to be meant for him, but it seems the older male observes the form of a good host. Trying not to cause offense, I nod in gratitude, approach slowly, and take the glass from his paw. Thank you, my lord.
You should enjoy it. It's better than anything the Sylvan folk could produce in their burrows. Good grapes need light and open hills, two things Tiernan clearly lacks, along with whatever else you came here for.
The tiger pours into the glass and offers it to Ranok, but the wolf just shakes his head. He's more stubborn than Vul at times. But instead of taking offense, the magistrate just shrugs and seats himself comfortably, bopping his drink in my direction in a silent toast. I oblige, and we both take a sip. Once the wine hits my tongue, I groan in satisfaction, taking an involuntary lick of my lips. Told you. The tiger laughs, and I nod in agreement. The wine's indeed delicious. It's rich and quite sweet.
Just like any good wine should be. We here no drink, just talk.
Again, the wolf struggles to form a proper sentence to the magistrate's growing amusement. Ranok's tigery is just as lacking as his manners are. His dislike for everything is clear to see. I ask your forgiveness, my lord. The wolf kind can be quite irritable when out of their element.
Irritable? I'd say impertinent.
The tiger scoffs as he sloshes the wine around inside his glass, allowing me the opportunity to give Ranok a disapproving look. I assure you, my lord, that we mean no disrespect, just a communication issue. The magistrate looks at me carefully, inspecting every inch of my attire, and once he took a good measure, he flashes his brows.
My, this is quite the surprise. An eloquent slave.
I frown, seeing that their attitudes are very much playing off each other. Unless I do something, this audience is going to end up in a quarrel for sure. I decide to lean into his claim that the tigers all kin are equal. This time I think you should ask for my pardon, my lord, for I am no slave. I state firmly but calmly enough to cause the tiger to give me a less dismissive look. I came here as a companion and advisor to Ranok. I'm here to aid him in overcoming any potential cultural and language barriers.
Is that so?
At first he sounds hesitant, but quickly he shrugs it off, popping his glass in my direction.
If this truly is the state of affairs, then indeed I shall require your forgiveness. I'm afraid my assumption comes from a rather long history of bad experiences between our species.
I will grant your forgiveness, my lord, if you grant us a moment of your time, compliment with some patience and understanding. Both the males give me surprised looks. I can see that Ranok understands what I'm saying. He's just taken aback by the way I'm saying it. I guess a life of combat training leaves very little time to study the art of diplomacy.
That is quite interesting.
The tiger muses as he pushes deeper into his chair, seating himself in a more relaxed and comfortable manner. It is water time. Well, it's really tea time, but tea has water in it, so.
I had hosted a group of Vanar envoys to the Sorcerer King just a fortnight ago. None of them wielded tigery in such a natural fashion as you do. I'd ask if you were a local, but I know that not to be true.
He shakes his head, toying with the wine glass.
There are no humans this side of the Serpentine, yet your accent does not match that of Freyfall at all.
I am humbled by your interest, my lord, but our matters here relate to the Wolven tribe of Tiernan, not my mundane origin.
I'm sure it's anything but.
The magistrate scoffs in obvious suspicion, downing the rest of his wine.
Very well. What do you want?
He addresses the wolf as he refills his glass. And I look to Ranok with worry. I take a shallow sip to mask my pleading expression from our host. Please, softly.
Iron. Tribe want other things too. Grain and medicine. Your father has placed an embargo on trade between our people. It was one of the first things he did as chief.
Ranok blinks in evident shock, completely thrown off by the remark regarding his parentage, and the tiger revels in it.
Yes, I know who you are, boy. I'd be poor at my job if I didn't.
The magistrate states plainly as he takes a long, satisfied gulp.
Varric has upheld that embargo for over 20 years, only allowing exchanges to take place on preferential terms for your kind.
We had nothing to do with your grandfather's lunacy. What's more, we stayed away from your affairs even when we had ample reasons to interfere. My gaze starts to Ranok, who's clearly getting upset by whatever's being mentioned. I cannot deny that I'm myself getting quite curious as to what's actually transpired. I recall Varric hating the sheer mention of his father, so what happened? But all this has to wait, as our conversation began spiraling into dangerous territory.
For our restraint and patience in the face of your people's transgressions, we were punished. Why should I open my markets to you after decades of such unjust treatment? I have gold. Ah, yes, as if that made a lick bit of difference. Do you see this, wolf?
The magistrate sprawls his paws towards the hall around us.
Do I look as if I could be swayed by a mere crate full of coins? I'm a magistrate of the Heartlands. In this realm we sow and reap while coins sprout from the ground beneath us.
Your magnificent administrator is evident by the splendid city surrounding us. But as any good administrator, I'm sure you'd never frown at any potential new source of revenue. The male wiggles his nose slightly at the comment, but then waves at Ranok, bidding him to place the chest at the table. The wolf does so with a heavy clank, and the tiger inspects the contents. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!